Okay, with those guys out of the way, I can finally say what I wanted to say. So, Yahar'gul is a really interesting place. There's a lot of sinister lore behind it. Normally, you're only able to access it after you defeat Rom and trigger the Blood Moon, which lifts the veil and lets you see, like, the horrible ritual that's going on in Yahar'gul and all the crazy, horrible stuff that they've been doing. But you can actually access this area much earlier in the game, actually right after beating Bloodstarved Beast, so third boss in. Thing is, though, that you're only able to explore a very small portion of Yahar'gul, and it's disguised under another name. It does say, I believe, when you come here, Yahar'gul Unseen Village, but the teleport lamp says Hypogean Jail, which translates to the underground jail. And where you actually appear is in the chapel of Yahar'gul. Now, through exploits, you can get to the rest of the village, because it's all fully loaded here, you just can't normally access it. But you can get to the rest of it before triggering the Blood Moon. It's just that there are no enemies loaded. Everything looks the exact same, but since you haven't triggered that phase of the game doesn't know to load any enemies in. But when you're coming through here, after triggering the Blood Moon, the veil allows you, like when you defeat Rom and remove the veil, it allows you to see things you couldn't normally see, things that you would need a lot of insight to see. That being the Amygdala, like the one that's outside of Odin Chapel, but there are also two of them in Yahar'gul now. This is the chapel right here that you spawn in. When you trigger the Blood Moon, that lamp no longer becomes accessible. There is, however, another lamp in the chapel. You can't access it. However, if you were to get to it in this phase of the game, you would be able to activate it and teleport there because that is loaded in. I can show you where that is real quick. The lamp is actually up there, and to get to that lamp, you have to... I'm gonna run back and forth here. So remember that where that doorway is, it's the only way to this area, because you would exit then out that side. There's no way to come in from that side because that loops around and comes in through that door, which you can't open from this side, where you then find this lamp broken. But up there is a bridge. Well, more accurately, it's a staircase bridge. When you come through here after beating Rom, you can see the Amygdala here, and there's one that's actually sitting right on the chapel up here. And if anyone comes within, like I'd say, right around there to somewhere up there, whether it's you or an enemy, he shoots a laser that goes up the stairs and just destroys anything in its path. It's a pain. It's killed a lot of people. Now, what I'm wondering is, if I were to bring my insight up to 40, would I be able to see that Amygdala right now? Because I know the enemies don't load in yet, but I wonder if the Amygdala loads in so I can actually see it. And I am going to test that out right now. Because that would be incredibly cool, being able to see it ahead of time as sort of like a little sneak peek spoiler. You're like, what the hell is that thing? And my head just explodes. Alright, now let's reload the area. See if I can see the Eldritch Abomination. Although, I kind of doubt that anyone coming through here would have 40 insight or stay around in this phase of the game long enough to see that. A lot of people like to blitz through the game, and I like to... I said I want to get... Every time I get a new weapon, I want to get them up to like at least +8 and have +1, 4, and 7 versions of them, so I spend a lot of time farming materials. And if I trigger the Blood Moon, I know that these guys are no longer going to be around, so I can't get Bloodstone shards quite as easily. I mean, I can still get them, but these guys drop 2 a pop, so... steering with my right hand, trying to get my computer screen back on, because I'm actually recording this, the audio as I'm playing on my computer, and I don't want there to be an echo, so I have no sound on my TV whatsoever. Doesn't really make it that much harder yet. Get my blood vial back. And yeah, we can kill this guy again. Oops. I didn't think that got him. There we go. More on reflex, because so many times when I go to parry them, they do that body slam, which, as far as I know, can't be parried, and I always back away from it. So, let's see if anything can be seen. No, doesn't look like it's there. So yeah, it might be just like the enemies. It hasn't actually loaded in because we're not in the right phase of the game, but just to be sure, see if I can get a better angle first. But then I'm going to go to Cathedral Ward and see if that amygdala there shows to me. Because it should be 40 insight. But yeah, that's definitely the bridge, because it leads right to that lamp. I even made sure I watched Team 4 Star's video of them getting killed by that laser over and over until they finally made it into the room at the bottom of the stairs, and yeah, that lamp is there. So, let's just go and make sure. Man, this is going to be a huge waste of Madman's knowledge, because I don't want to keep my insight this high, having enemies getting buffs or new attacks or stuff, or having my frenzy resistance much lower. And I wanted to save that Madman's knowledge for later so I could buy blood rocks, because like I said, I want to have every weapon at plus 10 before I finish the game. Which, I know it's going to take a while, but if a game has any kind of RPG elements, I'm going to abuse the hell out of them. Actually, wait just 1 minute. Okay, so real quick, I wanted to go back and actually buy the Canehurst Knight armor so I could complete the set, 'cause I'm wielding the Chikage, so figured I may as well put that on since I was actually also farming echoes to do that. Anyway, if this amount of insight is correct to be able to see it, then there should be right out here. And yep, there is. There's an amygdala right here. Hey, Papa Tennies, what's up? And yeah, he was here the entire time. You could have this much insight as soon as you come to Cathedral Ward, and you'd be able to see him. That's because, you know, the only way you'd actually be able to see him is to be in Cathedral Ward, which would have all the enemies loaded up. And also, if anyone's new or hasn't seen any videos on it or watched anything about Bloodborne at all, you probably also wouldn't be seeing this video, but if you went to try to grab this item here and you stood here and got picked up and frenzied, that was this guy. Just kind of cool that, you know, he's been here the whole time, you just can't see him because you don't have enough insight. However, when you beat Rom, you don't need that much insight to be able to see them, so really, there's not much point to having a whole lot of insight unless you just want to make the game harder on yourself. I'll actually go here to take a look at his rear. What a nice backside. It's actually kind of weird that he's hanging around here because this is the Odin Chapel. It is tied to a Great One, but it is actually tied to the Great One Odin, who, well, mainly just exists in the thoughts of individuals. I'm not even sure if this is an actual Great One, because there's actually two different amygdalas, and I don't know if they both are considered Great Ones. There is a lesser amygdala, which is this one, and then there's the one that you fight. Although, this one seems more powerful, so it's weird that it's called the lesser amygdala. But it has the face tentacles, which are the same as the Vicar of the Cosmos in the Hunter's Nightmare, as well as the brain suckers. And it also has 6 fingers, well, I guess 5 fingers, and a thumb to have 6 digits, just like the Celestial Emissary, the Celestial Enemies. And I believe the brain sucker as well, because those were, I guess, the choir's attempt to make their own human manufactured and controlled great ones, which may or may not have been that successful. And actually, I'm gonna get rid of this crow here real quick because I can't hear. Yeah, you have fun doing that. And what's actually interesting too, Yahar'gul is filled with amygdalas. Well, there's 2, but I think you can only see 3 amygdalas in the game aside from the boss one. And 2 of them are in Yahar'gul. I don't think this amygdala is normally supposed to be here. I think it came from Yahar'gul, just like these snatchers over here. Because Yahar'gul is filled with snatchers, just like it's got 2 amygdala. And then there's an amygdala hanging around this chapel, and there's a snatcher hiding right around the corner here as well. And I'm wondering if they have some sort of connection. Actually, I want to see if he does have 6 digits or not. If you jump at me, you're dead. Let's just nip that bud. I thought he was dead for a second. No, though he does have spindly-ass fingers. So, yeah, you can't see the amygdala in the Unseen Village before the Blood Moon just because they haven't been loaded in. It's a shame, but it makes sense. And I just wasted, what, 31 insight doing this? Now I gotta get rid of this and get insight back. Well, thank you for watching. Everybody take care until the next video.